All right, Dave, how long have you been volunteering with Habitat?
I've been volunteering on and off for 24 years.
It's longer than I've been alive.
Okay, well. All right, Nate, how did you first begin volunteering with Habitat Wake?
I knew about it for a little bit before I turned 16, and then right when I turned 16, I signed up to volunteer. I remember I came back every weekend. We did different things every week, learned a lot.
I remember you came out a lot.
Yeah.
You're a loyal volunteer.
Oh yeah. What does FOH stand for?
FOH stands for Force of Habitat. It's volunteers like myself who have a little more experience than the regular volunteers that show up. So it's our job to lead the other groups. All right, Nate, tell the story of the club you formed at Green Hope High.
I realized that a lot of people at my high school were interested in what I was doing on the weekends. I was telling my friends about Habitat and all the cool things that I was learning. And I started to invite a couple of my friends out, and then I, from there realized that there was a significant amount of interest.
Yeah.
So I decided to form a club, and we ended up getting groups to come out from my school every weekend, mainly to the Casena Lane project in Apex. We
Correct.
worked with you.
Yes, you did.
Basically every weekend, doing all sorts of fun framing,
Wow.
painting,
Yeah.
siding.
Your friends that you brought out did a good job. We
Yeah.
look forward to having you as leaders. Makes it easier when any of the volunteers are enthusiastic,
Yeah.
and your gang was.
What keeps you coming back year after year?
I enjoy it. I come back because I enjoy working with the volunteers. I enjoy seeing the homeowners. It's serving a useful purpose, obviously building homes for folks that they can afford. Prices for housing are crazy high. It's not easy. So a lot of folks, when they have to find something, we're helping out that market for folks to do it. What's your favorite memory or funniest story from volunteering?
I think initially, like being the youngest person on, at least they made me an FOH before I was 18, I think, because I had to be an FOH to come back for COVID. And I remember some of the other FOH who had been here for a long time were a little confused about why a kid was here, and like I hadn't worked with them before, and to see the apprehension at first, but then I grew on them, and now like everybody's like best friends.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're happy to have you helping us out.
Yeah, yeah.
You are an FOH. So.
Have you ever had an on-site fail?
I fell in the mud one time. I did. I stepped in a mud hole. It was just one of those opportunities to, just, oh well, that's what happens. If you were a power tool, what would you be and why?
I'd say the circular saw, because it's powerful but can be used in many different ways.
It's a popular tool. We need it.
Yeah.
Use it all the time.
Oh yeah. Have you seen things at Habitat Wake change across your time volunteering here?
Oh, yeah, there have been changes. They try to upgrade to improve things. The energy efficiency ratings that they try to achieve. We've changed materials and procedures that way. Doing the wall builds. We're right here in the warehouse. We used to build them entirely, stick build them on site.
Wow.
Now we have the wall builds, which I think volunteers enjoy.
Right.
They come out and just have a mad time hammering right here on the floor, because there's a whole house right over there right now. And so it makes my job easier on site. My turn?
Your turn.
Okay. What would you say to someone your age who thinks they're too young to make an impact?
They're not. It's a great learning experience for the individual to come out and volunteer. And yeah, it's a little bit more fun than doing homework. Is there a moment or story that really made you feel like you were making a difference?
One stands out. I've told this story many times. We were building a house, single mom. She had one son and 4 daughters. And the boy was the youngest of the bunch. And we had the dedication, and the kids had already picked out their bedrooms. And the young boy happened to have his bedroom at the front of the house. And all of a sudden, the window flies open. And the little boy looks out through the screen and he goes, "It's all mine." And he was so excited to have his own bedroom without sisters. And he just was screaming. Oh, where is he?
It's on like the fire sprinkler.
Do you have a towel or something we could throw it at him and not, I don't want to use a rock, but. How has volunteering shaped your life?
Volunteering has given me a good balance, I think. I don't know, I get very focused on school and work. In volunteering, it's a great, I guess, outlet to make a difference, and it feels like an immediate impact that you're making. Habitat Wake is celebrating 40 years. What does 40 years of impact mean to you personally?
When I see the neighborhoods, such as Crosstown, now Old Pool, the neighbors get to know each other. So you're making a community, a neighborhood. What do you think younger generations can bring to Habitat's work?
Their spirit and energy, and then their eagerness to learn. There's a lot of people with a wealth of knowledge at Habitat that are willing and eager to teach people that want to learn. How has volunteering changed you as a person?
I just see that I'm doing something worthwhile.
Right.
It's helped me to realize the blessings I have, and that I have the ability to help out, reach out, and help others as well.
Keeps you young too. You're in better shape than like half the people running around out there.
Well, I've been told that.
Your step count's probably double what most people on site is.
Well, sometimes I feel like I need a golf cart, but Brad won't get me one. What inspires you about working with Legacy FOH, who have seen Habitat Wake across decades?
The opportunity to work with FOH, a lot of them are retired engineers, and it kind of inspired my career path. I came here, worked with all of these retired engineers, and I realized that this was something that I really was interested in pursuing a career in. And it was a great intro into construction. I felt like I had a significant leg up on my peers when I started at school, and I don't know, I'm very grateful for that wealth of knowledge that I got to absorb.
Well, like I say, you put in several years worth of work, so.
I did. Hopefully I learned something. What can someone expect to experience if they volunteer on site with Habitat?
They get to see how a house is put together. Maybe they'll learn something. They'll learn how to use tools and just, hang out and have a good time. They get excited just running with your circ saw.
Yeah.
When you teach someone that's never done it, and they rip a board and they look up and it's like, I did it. If you had to sum up what volunteering means to you, what would it be?
This was the biggest volunteer opportunity that I had ever, pursued. I felt like this was, out of all of the other places you can volunteer, we did stuff like that was required in school, and you're like, cool, I'm helping out, but it doesn't feel like your impact is that great. But at Habitat, it was really special because it feels like you're making a significant impact to your community, and I think that's
how
very
I feel.
valuable. Yeah.
Why do I keep doing it? Why have I done it?
Exactly.
You see the results.
Yeah.
And I think young folks, old folks that want to commit, a lot of men and women that retire want something to do.
Right.
And I get asked that, how do I get on? So you're making that.
It's meaningful volunteering.
Yeah.
Habitat, they're making a tremendous impact on the community. What is it like to build alongside the homeowners?
Oh, well, that's probably, to build with the homeowners is probably the best part.
Yeah.
Because you see the enthusiasm they have, and whether they're learning or whether they're experienced, they take pictures all the time as it goes up, and they get to see that the growth of the house, and they see every aspect of their house, and you just hear the stories about maybe where they've been living, where they're not, what they're doing. You learn, you know, family, friends. It's just a lot more fun when you can actually get to know them. And I've had the experience to really get to know quite a few. Some who still volunteer. Many homeowners, they get their sweat equity in,
Right.
but they will still come back after they have the house and
Yeah.
volunteer.
A lot of the homeowners I've heard of, they move around a lot between
Right.
rentals, which if you have kids, that means they're switching schools, and you
Yep.
never really get settled into a community. So the excitement to really settle in and plant your roots is, it's very special, I think.
Habitat Wake is celebrating 40 years. What are you most proud of when you think of this organization?
I'd say the scale that we're working at. I know we're one of the largest Habitat affiliates in the country.
That's right.
Really seeing the growth and the scale that the organization is on and projected to continue is huge. The Raleigh area is growing in population, which is great, but it means that has an impact on the affordable housing market, and we're growing with Raleigh and the community there. So I think that means that we'll have more projects, need more volunteers, but it means that we can impact more families. So I think that's
I agree.
incredibly
Yeah.
exciting.
I think that's a good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah. What do you hope to see for the future of Habitat Wake?
40 is great, but let's keep going.